You can do two things at once, but you can't focus effectively on two things at once because multitasking is a lie. If you haven't read the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, I really encourage you to pick that up. But it's so true when it comes to multitasking. When you pick one thing up, and you're working at it, you can't hold two things at once. I don't know if you've ever tried juggling before, okay? I can juggle 3 balls at once. That's the best I can do. And, I can't really focus on anything else. Well, because I'll end up dropping the balls. Well, the same thing is when it comes to you trying to do two things at once. You're on the phone, you're talking to this person, you're sending an email. Somebody is not getting your full attention. I'm sure you've been on the phone while you're talking to your spouse or your friend and they can hear you typing and they're like, you didn't even just hear what I just said. And you're like, oh, what? Can you say that again? Well, the same thing when it comes to you trying to get two jobs done at the same time, 2 tasks done at the same time, 2 goals done at the same time. You're just going to end up screwing up one of them and not doing as good as you could on the other. So I want to encourage you, man, get rid of the idea of multitasking. It doesn't work. It just stresses you out and it really weakens your efficiency. It weakens your quality of work, and it's not about quantity. It's about quality. I want to remind you about that. So just again, even back to that tortoise and the hare story, we're not trying to just, sprint through life and get all this stuff done. Don't multitask. Focus on the one thing. And there's so much power and so much thrust that gets into that, and learn to finish. That's the thing too. When you start to multitask, you end up missing things and you don't finish. And the key that in our generation these days is we start things, but we don't finish them. And you need to learn to finish. It's all done. It's all checked off. I can put that down. I'm not thinking about, oh, maybe I didn't finish it off. I didn't really check off all the boxes, because then it's just going to come back up. I'm going to get a phone call. I'm going to get an email response saying, oh, you missed this one part. And then it's going to take even more time. So really, did I really save time? I didn't. No. I just stressed myself out and actually caused myself more work, more pain, and then I didn't even do as good a job as I could for the customer. Now, I want us to say one thing about multitasking compared to delegation. Delegation is very, very different. Delegation is getting and hiring somebody else that has the skills and abilities you have, or maybe even better to do that job, and you hire them to get it done. That is powerful. Very, very difference between multitasking, because that's just you trying to do everything, where when you delegate, you say, hey, I'm giving this to you to get done. It's off your plate. It's their job to get it done. Now that comes into, different types of skills with managing and whatnot. But if you want to get more done, instead of trying to multitask, try delegation. Delegation is my number one thing I'm working on this year, as far as just the different things I want to implement in my life, because I do want to get more done. I do want to grow, and I've delegated by hiring designers. I've delegated by hiring people on Upwork or Fiverr or just virtual assistants and whatnot to kind of help me to get things off my plate so I can focus on the things that I do best. So I really hope that helps you out. Think about some of the stuff you've been multitasking with, and maybe try delegating some of it out for somebody else, and just be like, you know what, I really don't need to be working on this right now. It's not helping me to achieve the goals and the things I know to get done, and put those off. And you watch your, efficiency rate go through the roof in getting more done. So I hope this has provided a lot of value. It's been a real key to my life and my success in learning to delegate and doing it even more.